I'm always trying to protect myself from other people, but I forget that the one person that I really need to protect myself from is actually myself.
I mean,
What is up, you guys? I'm Tracy,
I'm Anne.
and this is Beyond the Plot. Do you think that was weird?
A little.
Okay, wow. You mean that?
Kidding. No.
Welcome back to Beyond the Plot. I feel like lately Anne and I have been talking about some pretty stupid, pretty dumb, pretty unserious, not even pretty unserious, just
Very
completely.
unserious, yeah.
Yeah. And because our description says that we talk about anything and everything, I feel like it's time to start talking about something serious again. Mm-hmm. Right.
Because I think we did touch on some serious subjects before, and I think,
Yeah.
I think it's about time that we dive back into
Yeah.
being serious.
You know, I love that you said dive back because I was going to say that in the past we touched on it and it was all very like surface level. So I love that you said dive.
I felt like I needed to say dive because, yeah, exactly. It felt very like
Surface
this.
level,
Yeah, so now we
yeah.
have to go.
Honestly, I feel like for so many of our like previous episodes, we kind of delay it at the start. We say random stuff, but honestly, let's just get into it.
Like he is.
That is so dangerous, guys. Like, just speeding down the road because I'm not gonna say what time it is, but it's
nighttime.
It's nighttime, yeah. And this guy's probably thinking that, oh, nothing's gonna happen. I can like go as fast as I can right now because it's nighttime and nobody's on the road. But that's exactly how accidents happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like people like need to think about that more.
There are crazy people on the road who will just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, you can control yourself, but you can't control other people around you on the road.
Yeah.
There are just some crazy people out there who will just pop out of nowhere, and like some crazy people also who are not in vehicles who will just walk on the road and like just, I don't know what goes into their heads.
And then you gotta take into account, like, let's say there are old people who might not be able to see the road, it's nighttime,
True.
or a drunk person,
who isn't that aware anymore
Yeah.
of their surroundings.
So it's like so many factors, especially like at night. And growing up, obviously, these aren't things that, we think about when our parents say this, but I feel like now that like, or as we get older, we do realize that it's like, yeah, there is greater danger in these things,
Yeah, definitely.
And people really do need to kind of be careful. Kind of like, I feel like at one point, so many people like drank underage, right?
Oh yeah, especially where we're from.
Yeah.
A lot of people drank underage. Actually, everywhere.
Yeah. And I remember that growing up, sometimes like you pressure your friends pressure you, like, oh, take this shot, drink this, chug this, whatever, like basically like forcing you to drink. And as I got older, I realized like, wow, that's so stupidly irresponsible. Like, and we're laughing about it. We think nothing's like wrong with it. And like, I feel like we didn't realize like how bad like shit like that could go if it goes south,
Yeah, that's why. But then I guess that's what makes us more careful now, because we did go through that as kids growing up, like drinking underage. Like you're just more aware of how things could go wrong, like because you went through that.
Yeah. Instead of like kind of being like blissfully ignorant or naive.
So devil may care. Like, oh, whatever.
It's like I get the whole YOLO thing, but I also realize like, yeah, YOLO, you only live once, but then you're also gonna be really selfish and leave people behind that like care about you, And yeah, but I mean, I think it's a pretty natural thing also of growing up and also becoming like an adult when you start to realize things, or you're more aware of things, or you're able to process emotions or feelings or things like that, that you couldn't quite maybe process when like we were kids.
Yeah, growing up.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so important also to be role models for the younger people around you, if you have any of those people.
Yeah.
Those kids.
Those people
around
Whoa,
you.
That's...
I mean children.
Okay.
Yeah, like it would be good to be role models to the children around you. Because, you kind of know how they're feeling. Like, you kind of know what they're going through. Like,
of course, because we've all been through that, like, thing.
Of course. But then it's not always the same for everyone. Of course it's not. But then, like, when they're at a certain age, you're like, I know how you're feeling. Or I kind of know how,
oh my God,
like, what you're going through.
Yes.
Right?
I don't know if, I told you guys this, but I remember like seeing, or like when we're out and they're just kids who look wasted, and I'm just like, seriously, like, what time is it? What are you guys, like 15? Like, are your parents not looking for you? Like, you guys
Yeah.
need to go home. Like, and I'm like, wow, at one point, that was us.
Like, what the hell were we doing in bars?
I know. And why were they letting us in? See, it's not us as a society. It's more of like the system then. Oh, so it is a society.
Yes, it is society. I like how you just
Wow.
thought out loud there, but yes.
I am
It is
so,
society.
I'm so smart. Stupid, actually. God. But when you said that thing about when you see kids and you're kind of like, oh, I've been in that situation. Funny that you said that, because just recently I saw this thing on, I think it might have been YouTube. I watched a video and it was one of these you know those like social experiments. Kind of like, you remember these you remember that old like segment on TV that was like called "What Would You Do"? What was his name with
I think you need to refresh.
what would you do with John Quinones or something like that? And it was basically like they would like put people in these situations. Okay, so anyway, but
Yeah. Just keep going.
okay, that wasn't really important, but
Yeah.
you know the like, you know what a social experiment is,
Yeah.
right? You know how it goes. So in this one, what they did was they put this this actor, this young girl who was probably like, I don't know, like I want to say 12, 13. The experiment was supposed to be this young girl has her period. She's wearing like white pants, and I guess it's like she just got it, you know. So it's like there's a stain on her, you know,
Yeah.
on her butt area.
Yeah.
And the experiment is like, are people gonna stop her? Are they gonna say something, or are they just gonna, you know, walk past her and just be like,
This
"Oh,
sounds
okay."
very familiar. I feel like I've seen a short clip of it somewhere.
Okay, yeah. So I saw this video and I was so disappointed because what happened was this kid was standing, and so many like older women, or so many like grown ups, like let's say people who looked like they themselves were moms, they looked like they also had like children who could like be her age, and all of them just sort of like walked like past her. They didn't say anything.
And they saw.
Yeah,
that.
they definitely saw, like, you can see like them just like looking at her butt like, oh, like she's, you know, leaking, you know.
That is so sick because it's
Yeah.
kind of like I feel like in their heads they were kind of thinking that, oh, not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. That's so wrong.
It's so fucked up too, because it's like, yo, you're the adult, plus you know what it's like to
Exactly.
be in a situation like that. Like, come on, as like kids like 12, 13, like that's never happened to you.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like,
And that's pretty scarring. That's something that will
so
stay.
embarrassing,
That will
dude.
stay
Like,
with you, until you're.
Yeah.
I don't know, until forever.
but of course, not all of them just ignored her. There
Yeah.
were some people, like, most of them actually, like, younger people. Like, the ones who went up to her looked like they were 19, 25. Probably oldest was, like, maybe, like, 28. Like, that was the oldest who went up to her. And some of them were really nice. They were like, hey, so I don't know if you know this, but, you're, like, you've a stain. That's what they said. And she was just like, what? What do you mean? And they were like, you know, like your period, like. And she was like, huh? And some of them were like, do you know what that is? And this one girl was even like, oh, we can go into the store, like, you want me to buy you like a pad or something? And I just thought, you know, wow, at least there's some people who care, because
Decent human beings.
but it was the funniest thing though. There was this one guy, the only guy who said something. He went up to her and he was like, is there someone you can call? Like, are you waiting for someone? And then she was like, my grandma. And then he was like, okay, I think he got her number. He called the grandma and was like, I'm with your granddaughter. She's bleeding. And it's like, that is the worst way you could possibly say that.
She's
to, like,
bleeding. That's like
a random
Has she been
man.
shot?
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying?
Crazy. But so yeah, which brings me back, sorry. The reason why I said that was just that it was sad. It was sad and it was disappointing that, you know, older people who have been through the same things, unfortunately, weren't there to try to help a kid who is just going through this for the first time, you know?
Right. It's very like shameful, you know, like you know what this feels like.
Yeah.
So how could you not, even just a warning, you know?
Yeah. How can you ignore it? Like,
Yeah.
and that's such an embarrassing thing too, especially like growing up, dude.
Like could they not even like, I guess some people really can't put themselves
I guess.
in that situation. Like what if it was my kid, or like what if that was me?
Dude.
Like some people really just can't, I guess, or they just ignore completely.
Yeah, or
and
some people just
they don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
I think
sad, I think.
I think it's so sad to think that there are people who just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also a very like realistic thing because in life, dude, there are really some people who just don't care.
Yeah.
They could not care if you like just got run over right in front of them.
Right.
If anything, they might take a picture like, "Oh my god, someone just got run over here," or like post it on their story.
People are so selfish like that. And it's so sad to actually come to that realization that there are people like that in this
Yeah.
world. Like, you give people the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to think that everybody is innately good or innately kind.
Do you think that people are good? Like,
Innately good.
yeah.
I would love to believe that yeah, people are
Yeah.
innately good.
So
Because
you're
yeah,
pretty
actually,
positive.
I like to think that people are innately good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people just become the way that they are because of their situation
Mm.
and what they're dealt with in life, I
Interesting.
guess.
So
But
it's
I
like
believe that-
cause and effect, like
Yeah.
nature.
But then I do believe that people are innately good.
I mean, sorry, nurture.
Nurture. Oh,
Because
yeah.
you know the thing,
nurture.
like nature versus nurture.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that's okay. Okay.
What do you think?
So you think that their surroundings and their environment is what makes a person like who they
Yes.
are?
Yeah, I think so.
But do you feel like nature does play a role in that too?
Yes.
Have you seen those crazy
Also-
studies of those like twins or triplets getting separated, and for some reason there are just so many things in their lives that are like the same thing, which is actually kind of like wild.
You know, that is so crazy, like, to think about, because I've always been so fascinated with genetics and things like that. So, can you tell me about that?
So I saw this thing, or there's so many of these things where twins or triplets get separated, and honestly, they're even the reason why they get separated is so fucked up, because it's like, okay, this is probably like a spoiler thing, but I saw this one documentary about these triplets, and they had no idea that the whole time they had like brothers, like they had no idea that they were triplets. But one day they went to college. They ended up going to the same college, right?
All
These
three?
two guys.
Oh,
No, two of
two.
them. And when he got there, this girl just kissed him, and he was so like, what the hell? Like,
Oh.
interesting. This is how they greet in like this college, you know? And then he went into like his room, his dorm, and this guy was like, "Oh, yo, like, I thought you weren't coming back." Like, why is everyone looking at me like they know me?
Mm-hmm.
And then they found out that that guy's roommate used to be like that guy, like that
His
guy's
twin.
twin, yeah.
What?
And then it made like the news or like headlines that these guys found each other in college. And then the third triplet's like mom, I think, was watching the news and was like, "That looks exactly like my son."
That is insane.
Yeah. And you know the craziest thing? These triplets, they were all in like all from the same neighborhood, and they had no idea the whole time. And it was so
Wow.
fucked up because they were basically doing an experiment on these triplets. But they didn't know. So these people knew that they were separating them on purpose because they wanted to test nature versus nurture. They wanted, because the triplets, their mom was like a drug addict with mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she killed herself, which is
Oh
how
my
they
God.
ended up without a mom.
No father as well.
I'm not sure.
Or they
yet.
don't know who the
It's,
father.
I forget. It's so sad because to know that your triplets are so close, and like, dude, imagine like in this bit they're just
Around,
there,
yeah.
yeah. Like imagine like you live there and I live here. So I was about to say where she lives. Whoa.
Whoa, no.
Imagine like, yeah. And like we found out that we were like twins or something, you know.
Yeah.
And so
What are the findings?
they ended up like they had so many like random things in common. Like there were music that they listened to that they were like exactly the same, like sports that they liked, or just mannerisms and stuff like that.
Okay, the
And-
mannerisms I get, but then like the things you like and the music thing, maybe it could also be
with the
influenced.
times?
Yeah, influenced
Yeah.
by where they're from
True.
and like stuff like that, because they're in the same area also,
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
right?
As I was saying it, I was also thinking like it could also be because of the time, the era, you know.
It would be more interesting if they were further apart, like in different states or in different countries.
Oh,
Could
there
you
was
imagine?
one. Oh wait, first before I go with that one.
Yeah.
So what happened with this one was the unfortunate thing was that the third brother ended up killing himself
Oh my God, why?
because I think he had issues and he couldn't take it and something was happening to him, and they felt like they had been robbed of, you know, their time with their brother, because if they had known earlier that this guy was out here, then maybe he wouldn't have
Felt that way.
felt that way, that he had to kill himself eventually, or
Right.
'Cause they found out too that they weren't even the only triplets in this study. They did to so many twins and triplets.
That is so
Everywhere, yeah.
crazy. Like realizing that at an age, you're college too, so that's kind of like a very vulnerable time for you and your like emotional development and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, ruthless. These people who did the experiment, not experience, sorry, the experiment.
How could you do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be like so heartless. And then
Yeah.
throughout their lives, these people would keep visiting them because they were doing studies on them. But then they thought it was just like a routine like check or whatever. Then so he would go from house to house, and this whole time like they were just
Would they pretend to be somebody like a health worker or something like that?
no, I
To
think
be
they
able
knew
to-
that it's like they came from this place where they like adopted
Oh,
them. But
right,
then
right,
like the
right.
fact that like all the parents were so outraged because they were like, if they had known that they were triplets, they would have adopted all three of them together.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't want to separate like twins and triplets.
Yeah, because they have some sort of telepathy, right?
Yeah.
Like even
Just,
if
like,
they're
things you don't
apart.
do.
Yeah. Wow.
I did see one though where these two girls, and basically it was like there were so many things in common with them, that even like the instruments that they did play, like, and from their hairstyles to like what they wore in
And they were
prom or
separated,
something,
too.
they were all separated. Because I think this one was one of them. I think had like an accent. The other one just like didn't. Have
So
an
they were
accent.
actually in different areas
Yeah,
of the
like
world.
different countries. Yeah.
Cool.
Like race completely. Oh, so the triplets one too, they put them in 3 different kinds of households. Like this one was a rich household. This one they put him in a poor like household. This one they put him like in a middle working class, to really
Whoa.
see like nature versus nurture. And that's so like terrible.
How do you get? Who are you playing God? Like to like put people
Yeah.
in these types of situations just so you could. Oh my God.
Dude, and
It's
not
so
even just
crazy.
that. Like who do you think you are to even play God?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's so. I want to punch that person
Yeah,
so
right?
bad.
It's so like disturbing to hear about it. And
It is super
upsetting.
disturbing, yeah. Although fascinating, but also like, well, the fascinating. I mean, it's outweighed by the how angry I am.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
still, you know.
Nonetheless, still fascinating though.
So, just wanted to continue that question from earlier,
What question?
which you didn't answer.
That's why I don't know what questions.
So, I think you asked me what I thought about humans, if I thought they were innately good or evil. So, I'm going to ask you now, what do you think about that? Do you think people are innately good or evil?
I think honestly, through different stages of my life, or through different like phases of what I was like, the different like what I went through, it kind of changes. Like before, I think at one point I thought, yeah, like everyone's born good already, and then at one point I was like, nah, it's like a learned thing. And then now I'm like, I don't even know anymore. But what I do know is that I'm a very like cynical person. It's like I feel like I'm both like cynical but also so trusting sometimes, which is such a weird
It depends on the
like
people.
contrast.
Yeah, it depends on the people, I think.
Because I could be a very like trusting and open person.
Yeah.
But then I think generally, like I see people or I see things and situations, and I'm pretty cynical that I usually go to like the more negative things than thinking of like I see a situation, I'm probably like, oh, like I think of the worst thing that could happen, and it's probably like, oh, it wasn't even that bad.
Do you think it's kind of like a way to protect yourself from
Oh,
kind of,
definitely.
right?
I think that everything that I am as a person is, yeah, definitely a way to protect myself. But yeah, I think it's funny that I'm always trying to protect myself from other people, but I forget that the one person that I really need to protect myself from is actually myself.
I mean, at times. Not so much nowadays.
Are you talking about me or you?
You.
Okay. I thought you were just kind of sharing your experience. Like, yeah, some days I feel the same, but no, we're still talking about me. So you're agreeing with it then?
I mean, sometimes,
You do feel the whole me having to protect myself from myself.
yeah, kind of.
The way you
Because,
Yeah, let's be real, sometimes.
sometimes you can have, like, these tendencies where, like, sometimes I even want to save you from you. you know?
Yeah.
And, I try because I am your friend. But then also sometimes because I know that you know how to.
And you know that I'll just like find my way
Exactly.
back. But then
Yeah.
sometimes it's like you would like to help, so it'll be faster.
Of course. No, not also faster, just better. And also, I can't really explain it, but
I feel like you can, but you're kind of holding back. Like you're scared you're gonna offend me.
am I gonna offend you? No, also. It's just that I don't know how to put it into words because it's just how I feel also. Like, I just feel like sometimes maybe I could try to, like what I said earlier, like try to help you get out of whatever you're in. But then I know that you know how to do it. And
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
it's better that way that you also do it. But then also I want to help where I can, when and where that I can. Which is
I get you.
what I try to do, and I
Like
hope
you're
you see that.
conflicted, but actually no, I don't see that.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Damn it.
I never thought that you felt that way about it, actually.
I'm also not, I also don't want to say it, let me help you, or like let
Oh, yeah,
me.
obviously, that would
yeah.
be a very weird thing to say.
Right.
If you said it like that, I would just be like, what the fuck? Like,
Exactly. I don't want to offend, and I don't
Yeah.
want to like step over the line
Yeah.
or anything
and
like
you
that.
should step.
Am I just too polite? Ugh.
Sometimes I feel like
I mean, you did tell me that before that I'm.
yeah, but
sometimes
then sometimes
really
like I
polite.
feel like the way I am with you, like sometimes I think like, wow, Anne must think I'm so rude sometimes.
No,
Do I offend you a lot?
no.
No? Really?
I mean, no.
Oh, now I'm saying really. Oh my god.
Then you're saying my word.
But yeah.
No, I don't feel like you offend me.
Oh, okay.
Do you feel offended by me?
Never.
Right, because I'm too fucking polite.
I always feel like I offend you.
No.
I mean, but I think a lot of things in life and a lot of people, I always think that it's like it's always me. It's always my fault though with everything. I think
That
like
is.
I'm naturally that kind of person.
That's not a great way to think.
I know
about
it's
it.
terrible, and
Yeah.
it's something that obviously I know that I need to work on because that's just like my insecurity talking, and it sucks because I'm aware of it, but yet I still can't do anything about it.
Yeah, like you can't
know?
help but
Yeah,
do
I
it.
can't help it.
Yeah. I feel that way as well with some things about me. It's just that I wish I wasn't this way, and I'm really working my fucking hardest to try and not be that way, but I still am.
And what way is this now that you mentioned that?
It's like, okay, so I'm really short-tempered when it
Okay.
comes to some certain people in my
Yeah.
life. It's like I'm very selective with who I want to be short-tempered with, which I hate.
completely feel that though.
Yeah, which I hate because like, why am I like this? Like, why can't I just be like kind, like how I want to be, Or like, but then also, some people really ask for it.
Yeah, I was also gonna say that have you probably also thought about though, like the reasons, like why am I
Of course I have.
more short tempered with these people compared to these people?
Of course I have. It's like, it's very like, I internalize a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I think about why am I so angry at this
Yeah.
person all the time, and it's like it makes sense in my head, but then also I want to react in a different way because I'm
Yeah.
trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be a
Yeah.
nicer, kinder,
Growth.
more relaxed. Yeah, like growth. Like I'm trying to show my growth. Like I'm trying to prove it to myself also that I've grown
Mm-hmm.
in that way. But it's so hard sometimes, because of the situation that you're in
Yeah.
with certain people.
I feel like this is so vague. You want to like expand on that, or is it something that you don't really want to talk about?
Not really.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
not right now.
Honestly,
Maybe
we
in the
can go back to it in like the
Yeah,
future episodes
exactly.
when you're ready.
We'll dive into it maybe when I'm ready. But yeah.
I feel I feel like that's the thing though. A very important thing for everyone when you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of people forget, and sometimes they do things for other people when they forget that
Yeah.
the one person you should be doing things for, or the one person who you should sort of be waiting on is yourself.
Yeah.
It's like do it when you're ready, do it when you feel okay to, when
Yeah.
you're comfortable, not for anybody else, for yourself,
Exactly.
Now they know it's not a sticker.
No, we've been exposed.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, completely agree with you about doing things when you're ready, which is why I was I didn't even blink, I think, when I said like, yeah, no, I'm not ready to talk about it because I know my limits now.
Yeah.
So, again, and that's a great thing. See, growth.
Yeah.
Yay me.
And every tiny bit of growth, every I think step is still a step. It's still growth.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes I think, oh my god, I'm such a loser when I literally like celebrate every single kind of milestone that
wait.
I do. No.
Both? So, I think we had a cute little conversation.
Cute.
Yeah.
Very
Disgustingly gorgeous.
interesting. Oh,
Beautiful conversation today.
the weirdest like adjectives, and, like
Right.
adverbs.
We saw that earlier, or you told me
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that a couple days ago.
So like I saw in this like show, someone was like, "Oh my god, she's disgustingly beautiful," and then like her friend was like, "Disgustingly beautiful," and I was just like, "What?"
Disgustingly beautiful. Yeah. So from now on, we're gonna put
Yeah.
weird adjectives together
Yeah.
with Yeah, with how it is. Yeah. You get the point.
Basta.
Yeah. So that was a super cute episode. Horrifically amazing.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Horrifically
Okay, yeah.
amazing.
Wow, I'm terrible at this. I feel like I usually have so many words, but now I'm
You
just
must suck at Scrabble.
Sorry, I was so confused where you were going there. I was like,
I'm not trying to make up another word.
Okay.
Just saying.
I don't think
Are you
I don't think I really play Scrabble.
beautifully suckish at Scrabble? I can't.
I was gonna say amazingly unaware, but that's also a thing already.
That's been said.
I feel like I just can't not make sense. Also, I keep going. What is this? A fucking Sprite commercial? Like, sorry.
Anyways.
Sorry. All right.
So yeah, I think that wraps it up for us for episode 11. We hope you guys enjoyed the slightly deeper talk
Yeah.
that we had today.
Pretty random.
Yeah, pretty random. We just like winged it, I
Yeah.
think.
But I mean, okay, I hope for you guys.
Yeah. And please, if you guys ever have any comments to say or, stuff that you just want to tell us,
Yeah.
let us know in the comments.
Things you might want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Or
Let
just
us
if,
know.
like, if you hate us, that's cool.
You can
too,
also
you know,
say,
yeah.
I mean,
to each their own, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're not stopping you.
Can't please everyone too.
Yeah.
So
So
some days I don't even like myself.
we're gonna dive
Yeah.
deeper into that
Yeah.
in the next one. So yeah, stay tuned.
And for those of you who don't know, we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, but
We'll always be on
Yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube like is always gonna have the complete list of all the episodes, and just that's it.
Please don't mind that there's no light behind
Yeah.
me. It happens. Technical
Just
difficulties.
pretend. This is when you start using our imaginations.
Yeah.
Pretend that there's still color behind Anne.
So I think because my light went out, I think it's time for us to head out now too. See you on the next one, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.